Hi there, Loy Machedo. Sweeney from LoyMachedo.com. Who's Loy Machedo and Think Personal Branding. The date is June 15th, 2018. Time right now is 10:14 in the morning. I saw in one of the comments, I got a question, a youngster asking me, what are the factors I should keep in mind if I want to be a freelancer? Or, when is a good time for me to be a freelancer? Okay. I'll give you, just as random thoughts. So see if anything rings a bell. Now, if you want to be a freelancer, let's say you want to be a photographer, freelance photographer, you want to be a website designer, you want to be a dance teacher, tuition teacher, bodybuilding coach, freelancing or teaching exercise, or, being a life coach, whatever, giving advice, whatever it is. So first you identify what is the skill or service that you're ready to provide, okay? Once after you have identified that skill or service, the second thing is go to all your friends, all your relatives, all the people that you know, your friend circle, and tell them that you're giving them a free service, whether it's photography, website, whether it is making a video or teaching them martial arts or being a life coach. So that's what I did when I started off. I approached all the people that I knew and I told them, I'll give you 1 hour free. So, you may not get a response from everyone, but majority will give you a response. It's either yes or no. So the ones who say yes, you give them your service and then take the feedback. Ask them, did you like it? Did you not like it? Which are the areas I can improve on? Once they've given you this feedback, you take the feedback and find out, okay, how can I improve? What can I do to be better? But most important question you need to ask them is, if you had to pay me, how much would you pay me? Like, for example, I'm not asking to pay me now, but for what I've offered you, how much would you pay me? So people will give you an amount, $5 an hour, $10 an hour, $100 an hour, whatever. However, avoid being overly speculative. Like if you go to your mother says, I'll pay you $1,000 an hour. Don't buy into that bullshit. Take from all the people that you know, take the average and they'll get a rate. And don't do this, but this is an acid test. This you can do later. Whoever tells you, okay, I believe you're worth $5 an hour, I believe you're worth $10 an hour, then ask them, would they be willing to pay you for the next session? Okay, but don't do this initially, do this later. So the first one is identifying your service or skill. Second one is marketing yourself to all the people you know. Third one is actually giving them the service. Then is taking the feedback. And then last one is finding out what is the charge. Baby, okay? And finding out, that's my wifey, finding out what is the charge they can pay you. Once you've got this charge, you continue with this free service. But for repeat customers, don't give it for free. Repeat customers, tell them, can you give me something? At least something so I can make money. It can be even $1, $5, $10. See, ask something. You need to learn how to ask. So the second time round, if they come to you and they pay you something, that means your service was good. So then you continue that way. Then if this continues for some time where people are willing to pay you and they pay you an average of $5 or average of $10, and now you started to get busy, then you start to increase. So let's say, for example, and this you should be doing when you're working. So this you should be doing in your free time. So let's say after 8 hours of work, you have 2 hours for free. And 2 hours you charge someone, let's say $10 an hour, and you have 2 customers, and all of a sudden you find there's a waiting list. Then very soon you increase your charge from $10 to say $20 an hour, or go 15, whatever. Increase it slightly. And if you're still booked, increase it even more. But be careful, because there should be a point where you should not exceed too much, because if you go a bit too much, then you would start losing out on customers. Like, for example, one of my friends, he used to design the stands for marriage. He used to do the entire design. So initially he used to do it for free, until he started getting so many customers. Many people started taking advantage of it, where they would ask him for the drawing but they would not confirm, so he started charging straight away $1,000. All of a sudden he found out that he didn't have any customers, not even inquiries. So then he brought it down, and now he charges say $250 on average. So be careful when you're increasing the rate. So once you start getting like a frequency, many customers, what you need to do is you need to kind of evaluate. Like, okay, you're working for a job, which is very important. Please don't give up your job. You're working for a job. Let's say you're making $1,000 a month as your salary. So if you're working as a freelancer, the day you start making the same amount as net profit, not as revenue, net profit, because when you're working as an employee, you get the full cash in hand. But if you're working as a freelancer, let's say you make $1,000, but then you have to pay $200 to your assistant, or another $100 for supplies, or another $100 for equipment. So then you're not actually earning $1,000, you're earning less than that. And you also need to keep in mind, let's say if you're a photographer, and 1 hour is photography, you need to keep in mind editing the photographs, doing the work at the background, preparing them. It might take 4 to 6 hours, so you have to calculate all that. So once you have calculated the cost, remember, every hour that you spend on a job is a cost, even if you're not charging someone. So let's say I took 1 hour photographs, and then I go back home, and then I have to digitally enhance the photographs. I have to name them, put them in a folder, put it in a USB and give it to the person. The cost of the USB, the cost of working on my workstation, electricity, the effort that I put, all that has to be calculated. So once you've calculated all this cost, and you've deducted it, then find out, are you still earning more than what you'd be earning if you had gone for a regular job? And if the answer is yes, and there's still a demand, and you're still making money, and it is consistent for a couple of years, okay, don't do it just 2 months you made, oh, I'm going to quit my job and go full-time as a DJ. Maybe 2 months you just got lucky. Maybe 2 months you just had your friends only. Do it for at least for 2 years. I did it for a couple of years. Well, I didn't have a choice, but so do it for a couple of years, at least 2 years. And if in the 2 years you're consistently making more money than you would be making if you were working under someone, then I think it's a good time for you to move on. However, if any of these conditions, from your expenses to getting regular clients to your interest in working, to the other factors, and yes, another important thing you need to keep in mind, check out what are the expenses for registering your business, for getting permanent employees on board, for getting permanent supplies, or how much cash is locked in. Keep these in mind, because many people don't factor all these costs. So if you have to pay a registration cost, in some countries like the Middle East, you need to have an office, you need to have staff minimum. Like in Thailand, you need to have minimum 4 staff. So calculate all these, research, get yourself a lawyer, and once you've figured out all the legal aspects to this, when you deduct the cost, never ever be speculative. Please never ever be speculative that, oh, if I've got $2,000 this month, the rest of the year I'll keep getting $2,000 every month, so I might as well take a bank loan which I'll pay. Don't do that, because if you got $2,000 this month, maybe you're just lucky, or $20,000. They will be bad months. Like in Samui, the island I'm staying, it's only 8 months they get business, and 4 months zero, absolutely zero. And once the season starts, it doesn't mean that they'll make money. There are a lot of competitors who come up, laws change, staff leaves and goes, and there can be overheads, the rent can increase. I see so many businesses closing down. So keep all these factors in mind. Never ever leave your job, your guaranteed job, and only get into it after you've done it for a couple of years. So these are the factors you need to keep in mind if you're thinking of being a freelancer. And yeah, but without a mentor, without guidance, never ever jump the gun, remember, because once you do jump the gun, it's going to be a tough battle to get back. So I hope these pointers help you. If you like the video, like my pointers, Do give the video a thumbs up so I know how many people like it. If you don't like it, give it a thumbs down. You have your comments and questions, put them in the comment section below. I always read them and I'll respond back to you. Bye from Machedo.com, who's Machedo and Think Personal Branding. Signing off for now. This is me going back home.